I wonder what I should have. Can I interest you in some Buffy School cow milk? I don't know about that. Well, we know about that. Sit down. Let us persuade you. Here it is again. People have reached for a glass of milk for over 6,000 years. Milk is the perfect drink with 13 nutrients and 8 grams of protein. No way! Actually, yes way, because whey is the protein that builds your muscles. Here it is again. We have plenty of milk for you to try. My sweet Matilda can produce an average of 8 gallons of milk each day. Don't you mean 6-7 gallons? That is 112 cartons of milk a day. That feeds up to 5 glasses a day. Here it is again. The nutrients in milk including calcium, potassium, vitamin D, and magnesium help kids like you grow strong. Here it is again. So, what will it be? I'll take a Buffy School cow milk. Here it is again!
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to JJC Jersey Virtual Chat. I am Brittany with Discover Dairy, and we are going to have so much fun today. We have Farmer Jodi on standby. We've got questions and all of you checking in the chat, and we have 2 of the cutest calves, Hazel and Louisa, all ready for their close-ups. This event is part of the Adopt a Cow program. More than 48,000 classes and 2.1 million students are all part of this program for free, thanks to our generous supporters at the Midwest Dairy Association and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. Now, I know you're all excited for next year already, so go ahead and mark your calendars because starting on May 1st, this Friday, you can re-enroll for next year's program. Go to discoverdairy.com/adopt, and you will just simply log in, click re-enroll, and you're set to go for next year. And we welcome you to have your friends join the fun too. And because this event is live, we want to hear from you. Go ahead and drop those questions, those comments. Let's get that chat all full of energy today and see where you're all tuning in from. Speaking of that chat, let's see who's joining us today. So let's hop on over. Let's see, we've got some folks from Bellevue, Nebraska. Hello, thanks so much for joining us today. We have some folks here from South Dakota. Hello and welcome. Thanks for coming on today. We have some 3rd graders from Central Elementary. Hello in Nebraska. Hi all, we're so excited to have you on today. Let's see, we have some more folks from Omaha, Nebraska. Welcome, thanks for joining us. We have Ms. Laura Weidler's 4th graders. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Some folks from Harrisburg, South Dakota. Hey, good afternoon. Thanks, everybody. Let's see, we've got some 2nd graders from Central City, Nebraska. Hey, 2nd graders, thanks for tuning in today. We've got Holdridge Elementary School 3rd graders. Hey, 3rd graders, thanks for joining us today. We're excited to have you. Let's do a couple more. We have McCook St. Patrick kindergartners. Hey, kindergartners, we're excited to have you. And let's see, we've got some 1st graders from Valley View Elementary in Rapid City, South Dakota. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And let's do one more shout out from the Pathfinder program from Lincoln, Nebraska. Hello, and thank you all for joining us today. I can see there's many of you tuning in today. We are so excited to have you. And I know Farmer Jodi is excited to hear from you too. Speaking of Farmer Jodi, let's see if she's ready to chat. Hey, Farmer Jodi, how are you doing today?
Hi. Hi, Brittany. How are you?
Hi,
Welcome to
I'm
all you
good.
schools that are signed up. We're so happy to have you visiting our farm.
Yeah, oh, we're so excited to have you too. Thank you so much for making time for this today and letting us kind of step virtually onto your farm for the next 20 minutes or so. This is going to be a lot of fun. So, Farmer Jodi, I would love to learn a little bit more about you and your farm. So, do you want to tell me what your role is like at JJC Jerseys?
So my role has changed over the years to where I used to be a lot more hands-on than I am right now.
Mm,
And as the kids have gotten older, they have taken more control of the cows and the calves and everything in between from the feeding to the
sure.
blading. So my role is more of a manager type role now.
Okay.
Plus I do, milking and other chores. But
Sure.
um, yeah, since the kids have
Yeah.
gotten older, they're really taking control.
Well, that's kind of cool though, right? As your kids have gotten older and they're taking on more responsibility, and I'm sure that's a
Yes.
shift for you, but what a rewarding experience for you too, right? To see them really stepping into those shoes
Yes.
and taking care of those animals. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about JJC
Yes.
jerseys. Like how many cows do you milk and like how big is the farm?
So the farm itself is just 20 acres. We just have the dairy. We don't do any crops. We buy all of our corn and our silage and our hay. Um,
Mhm.
and then as far as how many cows we milk right around 170 right now. We're always
Wow.
calving more in. It's summertime or springtime, summertime, so we're always calving a lot more in. So
Sure.
yeah, we calve in, we dry up, and that's about how many we milk right now.
Yeah, awesome. So about 170 that you're milking. And then
Yes.
how many, about approximately total animals are on the farm then? That includes like calves and
So
heifers, young stock.
So total animals, we probably have, I don't know, 450 to 500, somewhere in that range, because we have
Wow.
probably close to 200 milk cows, and then plus all
Mhm.
of the replacement stock, all the heifers and the calves. So yeah, probably around that 450, 500 mark.
Goodness. Wow, that's a lot of cows to keep track of.
It
You-
is.
how do you as a farmer and and as a team and your family, how do you all keep track of all of them? Is there a system in place or any technology that helps you kind of keep eyes on all of them?
Yeah, so we use technology a couple different ways. When they're younger and they get a special vaccine from the vet,
Mhm.
he tattoos them. We tattoo them. They get an
Oh,
RFID tag in their ear at that point, and that is their permanent identification number that identifies them. Um, if you
okay.
want to say through the government or whatever
Sure.
you want to say,
Yeah,
the government agency.
sure.
Um, and then otherwise for technology for us, we have everybody's number is inputted in the computer on our program.
Mhm.
Um, keep track of each animal and how old and their breedings and lactations and all that kind.
Gotcha. Awesome. Very cool. So yeah, technology absolutely helps you out, right? You're using the computer to keep track of all of them. They all have their own special number,
Yes.
and all that good stuff. Very cool. Awesome. Very neat. So we've loved getting to know you and your family and your farm throughout the year a little bit, but of course, those cute calves have
Yes.
been the highlight of the year.
Yes.
So let's see if we can get the camera switched over to see our two cuties and how they're doing. Oh my goodness. Hello, girls. Oh my goodness. They have grown so much, Hazel and Louisa, since we first met them. So, oh my goodness. So, remind us which one is which. So, right now there's one on our right and one on our left. Which one is which?
So 2585, that is Louise. She's a little bit darker in color and a little bit
Uh-huh.
smaller. And then Hazel is 2581. She's a little bit lighter and she's bigger.
Gotcha. Awesome. There you are, Hazel. Hi, honey. Oh my goodness. So I know when they were born, so Hazel's kind of front and center right now on the camera. So we'll start with Hazel. I know when she was
Okay.
born, she was only 24 inches and 51 pounds. Oh my goodness. She was so cute and so little. But I know at our most recent update, she was 180 pounds and 40 inches. How much do you think she's grown since our last check-in?
So she's about 42 inches tall now
Wow.
and about 235 pounds ish. Um, you
Wow.
can really tell when the weather changes and gets nice. They tend
Mhm.
to, just like flowers and weeds and your grass, they really grow in the sunlight and the nice weather.
Oh, they love the warmth too, just like we
Yeah.
do. So, yeah, she's
Yes.
definitely, I've definitely outgrown Louise too, and really put on some height and some weight, which
Yes.
is kind of crazy because she started out smaller than Louise, but here we are.
Yes.
She shot up like a flower, like you said. I love that.
Yep. That's
She
just
is
different.
growing big and
Just
strong.
how it goes.
Sure, yeah. And I love that they are really two very different colors of jerseys.
They are.
They show that off really well. Sometimes they all just look the exact same brown, but they are definitely
Right.
two, closer opposite ends of the spectrum
Yep.
for jerseys here, which is a fun color combination to see.
Yes.
Very cool. So, all right. So that was Hazel, and I know Miss Louise is
Yes.
hiding in the background there. Let's see. So she was taller at birth, but she was 27 inches and 57 pounds. Some of us just start out as a big baby, and then we just don't grow. So that's what happened to her. I mean, she certainly is growing just as much,
Right.
but her genetics just has
Yeah.
her staying smaller. So at the last update, we said she was 150 pounds and 37 inches. So how big do you think she is now?
38.
38 inches. So she probably put on about an inch. And I think we just missed the weight. Sorry, Farmer Jodi. Do you want to restate the weight?
I can't hear.
Can you hear me, Farmer Jodi? Oh, we might have lost Farmer Jodi's audio. We're getting that back. No worries, but we can still see our cuties here. And so Miss Hazel put on, gosh, almost 55 pounds. So it's a good chance Louise also put something around that too. Maybe she's close to 200 pounds. We'll wait to hear from Farmer Jodi. Let's see if we can get her back. Farmer Jodi, I think I can hear you. I think you might have just lost my audio. Oh, I heard you through an echo. I think I might have heard you through our camera crew's camera. Or through her headset.
I've got her headset on
That's all right. We'll work on getting that audio switch here so we can
Can
hopefully. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
She's got to unmute me.
Yes, I can. Let's see. I'm
You can
trying to
hear me
figure out
now?
where I hear you from. Give me one second. Go ahead and try talking again, Farmer Jodi.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes. All right. We're good. We got you.
Okay. Okay.
All righty. All right. So yeah, I can't believe we got the height on Miss where were we? On Louise, but we missed
Yes.
the weight. So how much do you think she weighs now?
She's about 180 pounds.
Oh my goodness, 180 pounds. Okay. So she put on about 30 pounds since the last time we connected. So for anyone that's charting their height and weight,
Yeah.
goodness, they both have gotten so big. But it looks like Miss Louise will just be a nice, cute, petite jersey as she gets older. I love that. Cute, cute, cute. All right. So what are they eating right
Yeah.
now, Farmer Jodi? I know they seem to be nibbling at the ground right now, but I'm sure they have actual food that they're chewing on somewhere. So what's their diet look like right now?
So they just got moved to a different housing. So their first group of housing, they were on grass, hay, and grain. That's all they had. But since they got switched to a different group or different pen, they
Mhm.
now have TMR, which is total mixed ration. Plus they have grain. They get an extra supplement of grain that we feed them.
Gotcha. All right. So they get hay and they get a grain supplement. And have any idea how much of that they eat every day?
Gosh, I don't know how much they eat of that every day. They for
I know they're little
Alex,
jerseys,
one of
right?
the boys
So
just feeds it. I don't know how many pounds he gives.
that's okay, right? They pretty much have free choice at this point, right? So they'll eat however much. I mean, really, they
Yes.
can eat. That's in front of them. So maybe it's 5 to 10 pounds or 10 to 15 pounds of grain or so, somewhere around there. And then they'll just nibble on that hay as much as they want throughout the day.
Yes.
Awesome. Very nice.
Yes, he fills
Good.
the bunk, and I don't know exactly how many pounds that is.
Gotcha. No problem. They certainly, I think they're excited. I know we pulled them in here so we could see them for today. It looks like they're nibbling on some bedding, so I know they're probably excited to get back to their food soon. But rest assured, we will send them back out in about 15 minutes once we're done chatting with them, and then they can go eat as much as they want. So
Oh,
awesome. Awesome. Very good. All right, let's see. We lost there we go. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So, Farmer Jodi, if you're
Yes.
ready for some questions, we have some questions that are coming in for you. And we will see if we can get through some of those. So,
Okay.
oh, a great question from Creekside Christian Kindergarten. They want to know, what do you need to milk a cow? Is it, by hand or do you use a machine? And what's the equipment that you need to milk a cow?
So what we need to milk a cow, we have all automatic milkers. We don't, not robots, but automatic. We don't milk by hand. Um, so yeah, we milk 9. We milk 18 come in the barn at a time. So 9 on a side, and we prep them and we put the milkers on them and it milks them out in about 5 to 7 minutes.
Wow. Goodness. So yeah, so you have a parlor that they go into,
Yes.
and the milker goes on, and then we milk the cows, and that milk has been stored in a tank on your farm, right?
Yes, we actually have 2 tanks. So the milkman comes every day and picks up one of those tanks. So we fill a tank every day.
Wow. So about how much milk is that you're putting out every day with your herd?
So a full tank, or one of our full tanks, is 10,000 pounds, which is
Wow.
roughly 1,000 gallon. And we're not filling that quite every day, but very close.
Oh my goodness, that is a lot of pounds of milk. So where does that milk go then after it leaves your farm? Do you happen to know a store or a brand name or anything like that?
So it goes to Omaha to the Highland plant.
Oh,
So Highland is the main brand that they do at that plant, but there's also some store brands that are in there. If you look at the top of your milk jug, there's a code on there, and that's the plant code. And I believe our plant code from that Highland plant is 3108. So there's some other store
cool.
brands. I think there's a Hy-Vee brand that um, is processed there.
Yeah,
Maybe Dollar General might be. So yeah, just look for that code, and that'll tell you what plant it came from.
cool. All right, that's awesome. I love that. So hopefully you all can maybe take a peek at those plant codes and see if you can find that plant code. Maybe it's coming from
Yes,
JJC jerseys. That's
it
exciting.
might be.
Awesome. Let's see. All right, a question that's coming in. When is a cow considered an adult?
That's a good question. I would consider, and I don't know, is there a time? I would say when she's had a calf is when I would
Sure.
consider it from
Hmm.
heifer to cow.
Yeah,
So on our farm, right around that 2 years age,
gotcha.
because we
So it's
start, yeah.
yeah, so
What
they
was it?
have their first calf then, what, at 2 years old then it sounds like.
Right around 2 years old. Yes.
Wow. So I know maybe some of our folks that are listening today, they're thinking 2 years old, we can barely walk and talk at 2 years old. But that's I think I've heard that one cow year is about equal to 10 human years. So
Yeah.
20 years old is certainly old enough to be
That's
mature
and
and
you also have
yeah.
to keep in mind we don't learn to walk and talk until we're 1 or 2 years old. A calf is up walking around within a half an hour of birth. So
Wow.
yeah, they're just different, or we are
Yeah.
different from them.
Yeah, they certainly mature much faster than we do,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Wow, goodness. Let's see. All right. So we talked about how old are they when they're mature, when they're considered an adult, which is about 2 years old. But how old can they live to be? Like, what's the average life expectancy on your farm?
Oh, on our farm, I don't know if I've ever measured the average. I know that we have one cow walking around. Ben just said the other night that she was 11. I don't
Wow.
know. I don't know if she's the oldest one on the farm or not,
Oh,
but yeah, she's 11. So
goodness.
I would suppose the average is probably in that 5 to 6 range.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, right, just like humans, I would say we've got
Yep.
some humans that certainly defy the odds and live a really
Right.
long time, but there's an
Right.
average age just for humans too. Very neat. Cool.
Yes.
Let's see. Good question here, and I'm sure maybe the the winter is a little bit more serious to handle than the summer, but we're curious, how do cows stay cool during the summer? And we could also flip that and say, how do you help keep them warm in the winter?
So since we just went through winter, um, we do have sheds that all of our animals can go in. So they have shelter from any, winds or snow or, whatever
Mhm.
might come. But they have, animals are built different. They have a thicker skin, thicker hide, so they can tolerate a little bit more cold than say a human. So for bedding, they have sand bedding and they're usually pretty comfortable with that. The calves, they do have straw that they can bed down in and helps keep their warmth and keeps them warm. Um, During the summertime, we have sprinklers that are on them when they're up the bunk eating, and then those are on a timer. And we also have fans so that the fans will cool them. And we also have fans in the sheds where they can go in and get out of the sunshine and stay cool in there.
Wow, that's awesome. So definitely, they are really finding that wood very interesting right now, I
Well,
think.
that's a typical Jersey. That's that's just what they do.
Oh, they find something they can be curious about and
Yes,
start
and
licking it. Yep.
they can have a bunk full of feed and they will still chew on a wood post. So it's that's just how a Jersey is. They're just kind
Right?
of funny that way.
Oh my. I love their personalities. I think Jerseys just are extra curious, right? And I know some
Yes.
folks were asking about that, like what is Hazel and Luisa's personality like? So any tidbits on what their personalities are like?
They're actually some years I've had, one calf will be really curious and really photogenic and want to be in everything. And then there's other calves that are like, stay away from me. I don't want to be in this picture. So this year, both Hazel and Louise are pretty good about being um, having their pictures taken. So that's
Oh,
that's makes it easier. Sometimes easier and sometimes not because
sure.
if I have to try to get a body picture of them, they're always, coming at me, and I get a lot of nose pictures. So that does make it a little bit more challenging.
Sure, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'm sure. Let's see. We have let's oh we so we're curious, right? As we can hopefully get the camera and just kind of highlight our girls here for a little bit. We're curious, will Louisa get darker over time, or like will either one of them change colors, or will they kind of tend to stay these shades as they get older?
They will kind of stay the same. They might get a little. Uh, Louise might get a little bit darker as they get older, but I don't know as they'll ever match up in color. They'll
Sure.
always kind of be where they are.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. One will always be a little bit lighter than the other.
Yep.
Sure. Cool. Let's see. A question specifically for you, Farmer Jody. We're curious, how long have
Okay.
you been a farmer for?
So I grew up on a farm out by Amherst is my hometown. So I know there's a few schools out that direction that are
Yeah.
signed up. So that's my hometown. Um, we sold out when I was in high school, and then I married into a dairy. So yeah, I guess I would say I've been a farmer my whole life.
Awesome. Oh, I apologize there. Sorry, something glitched on my end. You're good. That wasn't you. That was
Okay,
on my end. Um,
got
but
worried.
we're good. Nope, we're good. Awesome. Thank you. Let's see. So, So how much do cows end up weighing once they're considered full grown?
So every breed is different, but Jerseys probably end up the big size would probably be 1,000 to 1,100 pounds. Usually they average probably around 8 to 900 pounds. They're just a lot smaller than, say, a Holstein or a Brown Swiss.
Sure. Yeah. That's still pretty big though. So they've got a long way
It
to go
is.
yet until they
Yes.
get to be full grown.
Yes. They will.
Awesome.
Yeah, they'll triple in size or in weight anyway, for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. We've got a lot of questions coming in asking about their dams or their moms. Any idea how
Yes.
they're doing?
They are all still in, or not all, but they're both still in the milk herd. So
That's awesome.
they're not right now, but uh,
Sure.
yeah, they're milking and doing their jobs.
Awesome. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that they're both successful
Yes.
successful
Yep.
milkers on the farm. I love to hear that. Very
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit earlier, but just wanted to clarify. Someone was asking, how old does a cow have to
Okay.
be to make milk? So it's not necessarily the age, right? But I mean, it is,
Right.
but what has to happen is
Yeah,
they have to have a baby, correct?
that's correct. Yes.
Gotcha. And that typically, because they're at maturity, is around 2 years old.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
normally it's two
Yes.
years old.
Yes.
Awesome. Very good. Let's see. Miss Jones's class would like to know what do cows usually do for exercise or like how do they stay healthy, right? I mean, I think as humans, that's a really big thing for us. We're always thinking, how can we get active? How can we get our steps in? Do cows have to worry about that? Do they, how do they exercise and stay healthy?
I mean, it's not like it's exercise per se, the definition of exercise, but they spend a lot of time, they walk around, but they spend a lot of time just laying down and not doing anything. That's,
Hmm,
kind of, if it's nice weather and they can get out on our dirt lots, they go lay out on the dirt, or they go in the sheds and they lay in the sand if they're not eating. But
sure.
it just depends on their mood, as to what they want to do and if they're walking around a lot. But
Huh.
we do have a nutritionist that comes to the farm, and he makes sure that we're feeding them a healthy diet. So that's probably the major way um, that we make sure they're healthy and that they stay healthy is they're fed the proper diet.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like that nutritionist is really giving them the perfect balance. I kind of wish I had a
Yes.
nutritionist, Farmer Jodi, that could help make sure I'm supposed to be eating.
Yeah, we all do.
And you know what? Yeah, it just dawned on me. It sounds like the cows really have it figured out. I feel like as humans, we run ourselves rampant and we're trying to exercise and do all the things and weight is a constant concept, but all they do is just
Right.
sleep for 14 hours a day and they stay fit. So maybe the answer is just to sleep all
Yeah.
day.
That's probably, I mean, maybe we could try that. We could do a study.
Right? I'd be game to volunteer myself for the sleeping for 14 hours a day. I don't know about you, Farmer
Yeah.
Jody, but
I don't know if I could sleep for that long in a day. Yeah,
a lot to do, right? Yeah, you're
there's
wired to work hard, I would say.
right,
Mhm.
to always be up and moving and getting something done.
Sure. Oh man. Let's see. So we talked about a nutritionist. We had someone curious about the veterinarian. So first they were curious, how many times does a cow usually see a vet? They're just asking specifically in the first year of their life, but maybe we can just talk about, overall in their life too.
So on our farm, and every farm's different. On our
Mhm.
farm, in the first year of her life, um, like I said, when she gets her RFID tag, that she would see a vet because he has to put that in, and then she won't. I mean, typically, if in a perfect world, she's not going to see that vet again until she is preg checked.
Sure.
So, I mean, she'll see the vet once in the first year, and then,
Hmm.
when she's confirmed pregnant, when she would be over a year old.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, right. We're hoping that she
Yeah.
just stays happy and healthy and
Yep.
um, just I would say and just like us as humans, we
Yeah.
try not to go to the doctors. I mean, we're gonna go for the
That's
health checkups,
right.
but we're gonna do the things
Yes.
that keep us healthy. But the hope
Right.
is that she's good until she's pregnant. And same with humans,
Right.
right? We go to the doctor when we're
Right.
pregnant. So
Right.
Same for our cows.
Yep. And then hopefully, as an adult, yeah, she wouldn't. I mean, typically she wouldn't have to see the vet again until we're doing a preg check and to make sure that she's, bred. So,
Sure. Yeah.
unless, something, she would
Hmm.
happen to get sick or something and need one. But
Sure.
we can usually diagnose anything like a stomach ache or a sore foot, or we can take care of that ourselves. So
Yeah. I love that. Awesome. I love that you're able to, right, work alongside your veterinarian and make sure that your
yes,
cows have the best care possible. They can
yes,
step in when needed, but you guys do a great job caring for your cows for
yes.
sure. Let's see. I just wanted to let you know there's a comment on here that they said, we'd like to thank you for all that you do, not only for our calf, but for the dairy program. You and your family are amazing.
Oh,
So thank you so
you're
much for those
welcome.
kind words. That was really sweet.
Yes.
Aw. Let's see. Oh my goodness. I didn't even realize what time it was. Farmer Jody, we have been chatting and our time has already come up. I can't believe where this time went together. Um, Goodness, these two girls have just grown so big and strong. We've loved getting to follow them all year, and I really want to thank you for just letting us get to learn about them a little bit. I do want to wrap up with one more question a little bit. Right, we talked about that dairy farming is an everyday job. You and your family just get the job done and take great care of these girls, but there's got to be a why behind it. So I'm curious, what's your why behind choosing being a dairy farmer as a career?
So I think you ask this or have asked this for the last few years, and I think probably my why changes every year. um, Honestly, I can't imagine a better way to raise a family, to raise kids.
No.
They have grown up knowing what hard work is,
Hmm.
and they know how to care for someone or something else.
Yeah.
these animals, these cows, depend on them being fed and being taken care of. So
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
they've learned a lot of responsibility and they've learned hard work, and
Hmm.
we still have the wide open spaces of living outside of
Yeah.
town, and yeah,
Yeah. I couldn't agree more,
it's the
right?
best life.
Yeah, it
Oh,
really
so
is. Oh, I mean, that alone, right? Who in the world can say, "I get to feed the world," other than our farmers? I think that's a really
that's right.
honorable and noble career to be in, and you're
It's
not
a
only feeding
huge
the world, but
responsibility. So
right. Exactly. It's a responsibility, but you're feeding your own family too. So
right,
you're not going to put a
yes,
product out there that you don't believe and trust in. So
for
we just
sure.
thank you. Yeah, we thank you for your dedication and commitment to the dairy industry and just being such an amazing farmer and caring for our cute cows.
You're
So
welcome.
is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today, Farmer Jody?
I just want to say thank you to all of you classrooms, and I know we've had a few nursing homes that signed up this year.
Mhm.
Um, so any of you that have signed on and signed up, please go join for next year. We'll have a couple more cute calves for you to follow, and we just really enjoy doing this, and we're happy to share our story.
Yeah, and we love sharing your story from our Jody. It's beautiful what you're doing with your kids on the farm, and just now our girls are getting all cuddled in here. Now they're going to be able to go back and join their friends, but they're going to be sleeping in here. So, um, oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. This has been an amazing visit and time with our calves and with you. Thank you for opening your barn doors and letting us see Hazel and Louisa. It's been an honor. And to echo what Farmer Jody said, thank you all to the classes, to the students, the teachers, libraries, assisted living centers, whoever, homeschool groups, whoever joined us today and for the year, thank you for choosing agriculture in your classroom and in your group, and finding a passion for wanting to learn more about the dairy industry, and really bringing excitement to the chat today. We had a lot of fun. I know we didn't even get to nearly half the questions. So thank you for all that energy and excitement. We hope you had fun learning about life on the farm and following your two cows. If you love this excitement this year and want to join again next year, don't forget enrollment does open this Friday, May 1st. Mark your calendars, discoverdairy.com/adopt. And all you have to do is log in and re-enroll. And we would absolutely love for you to recommend your friends to come along on board and adopt a calf next year too. They are all welcome. It is free for everyone thanks to our amazing sponsors and supporters. So thank you. And now from all of us at Discover Dairy and JJC Jerseys, thank you for spending your afternoon with us. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep learning, keep exploring, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye, everybody.